What's up? How are you? Alright, so I know a lot of you have been wondering what the hell happened to this girl. If you're not following me on my Instagram, you probably don't know anything that's happened in like the last 2 years. So, remember the last video that I made where I shaved my head? I have hair again. It was 2017, the last group of videos that I made. I was mad because I was single and heartbroken. I got married. So, finally, well, let me not say finally. I deployed. I went to Kuwait and spent a very short time in Afghanistan. So your girl's been places, serving her country. And I injured my right shoulder. I have a lot going on there and I'm still waiting for surgery. My surgery was scheduled for March 29th of this year, but guess what? I'm also pregnant. So that's why I have disappeared, because my life just took such a crazy turn of events, and yeah, so I've been around the world. Yeah. Please don't be upset with me. It wasn't intentional. That's just how life happens, you know. I get a lot of questions on what I do, how I do my makeup, what products do I use, what are my favorites, and I'm not one of those people. A lot of you have asked me about my skincare and I promise you, it's not that. But a lot of people really do ask me, what do I use on my face? So I figured I'd share it. So that's it. So if you want to see how I do this, just keep watching. Alright, now so I'm taking my milk primer, put about 2 pumps, and I just spread it all over my face. And then I just wait for it to dry before I move on to the next step. Then I take my Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil in number 4, and I just draw in some shading. This is the base for the middle of my eyebrows. Mine are pretty short now, so I fill them in because they went a little bald. I don't know what happened, but I fill them in between to make them look closer. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the spoolie end of that same Benefit pencil and brush through the hairs. Then I'm going to take this Urban Decay brow blade. I love this stuff. It has 2 ends. And I'm going to use it, and I'm just going to draw on some hair strokes where I put on top of that shading, just so that I can give it a more realistic effect when I'm up close talking to people, so it doesn't look like I just have some weird shadow. Then I'm going to take my brow pomade and I'm going to put that on with my Anastasia Beverly Hills spoolie brush. I'm going to take the brush end and I'm just going to feather in some hair strokes on the sides of my eyebrows. I never draw a straight line. I always do little hair strokes. That way it just doesn't look like my eyebrows are completely drawn up. So they make a huge difference using a little bit as well. I don't load the brush up, but you see what I did there. So then I take the spoolie end of the Anastasia brush and I just brush all the product through my eyebrow hair. I don't go nuts. Then I'm going to take this brow enhancer and I'm going to clean up under my eyebrows. I stopped waxing my eyebrows, I just shave them now. So I still do these steps just to clean up. since I don't wax anymore, so my eyebrow hairs are usually grown out. But this is like a very dry pencil, and I like the way it works. And it's on sale at Sephora for $3 usually. Then this is a brush from BH Cosmetics. It was in some special edition kit this summer at Ulta. But you can use a regular concealer brush. I just like this one because it's neon green, and I like the shape, the flat shape. It's great for cleaning up, and it's big enough since I make my eyebrows kind of long. I like long eyebrows. So here I am just continuing to clean up with the Sephora pencil, and I'm really digging this eyebrow shape. Can't stop admiring them. Then I'm going to take this old ass Boing Concealer. I've had this for years, and using this Morphe mini concealer brush, I'm going to load it up with that Boing Concealer, and I'm just going to go on the top of my eyebrows, and I'm going to clean up the tops of my eyebrows. So I put more product on one side than the other, but I don't dip back into the pot. I just use whatever I have on the brush, and it spreads out on both sides, and it's enough product, and it works for me. So you can do this if you want. If you want a more natural look, you don't have to do this step, but I like having my eyebrows look like they're just waxed all the time. So I know it looks ridiculous, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my fingers and I'm going to go ahead and disperse the concealer into my forehead, into the primer, so that I don't have that extra halo around my eyebrows. And then I pat it down onto my eyelids as well, just to spread the product around evenly. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my SmashBox foundation. This is the 15-hour hydrating foundation. It's sheer, it's buildable coverage, I would say, so I only use 2 pumps. I try not to use too many pumps unless I have to cover like acne scars when I get my time of the month, and I just use the end of my brush and I stipple it on my face. And then here I am. I'm sorry that I'm blocking out what I'm doing, but this is a Japanese flat foundation brush. I bought it at TJ Maxx for like $8, I think, and it's my new favorite foundation brush. I don't like the paddle foundation brushes. I always use a flat or a buffing brush of some sort. I feel like it gives them a more natural airbrush look. So I'm just making sure that I blend so that it's all evenly blended, and I'm just double checking everything, and I think it's good to go. So now I kind of OD'd on this concealer, but I love the way these two colors look together on me. This concealer is like really creamy. Both of these actually. The MAC Studio Fix concealer is thebomb.com with coverage, and the Sephora concealer, I love the texture as well. It's also very creamy. It doesn't compare to the MAC in a sense, but it's, out of a 10 I would give it a 9, and the MAC gets a 15. So this is what I meant by going ham. I put a lot of concealer on my face. I don't usually put this much, but I really wanted it to show on film, so during the day, if I was going somewhere, I wouldn't put this much. If I was going out at night, or I was planning on having like a full day out in the town, I would probably wear this much. But I think I just went crazy because of the video. And I don't care if the colors mix together because it's mine. This is just my personal makeup stash. So this was a fresh beauty blender, right out the packaging. I try to throw mine away every 3 months. And I usually buy the Real Technique sponges at TJ Maxx on sale. They usually have a 4-pack for $11.99, so go get you some. But I was in Sephora and I was like, oh, black beauty blender, why not? So I bought one. Anyhow, I just blend out the highlight. I just highlight the areas of my face that I want to look like, you know, have that spotlight effect that everyone, you know, standard. And what I do is I make sure that I blend it out very well. I notice even in some of my old videos, which I've deleted now, that I didn't blend properly. And I'm probably probably not blending enough in this video either, but I tried. So once I start going onto the other parts of my face, what I do is I start rolling the sponge to keep from continuing to spread the concealer. This is what I'm showing you. I don't want to keep spreading the concealer all over my face. I want it to stop at a certain point. So I start turning the sponge around in different areas so that I can hit different points and blend the concealer into my skin without adding more concealer, if that makes sense. Whew, that was a lot. So next I'm going to take my setting powder. This is a new one from Anastasia Beverly Hills. And this is the Morphe under eye brush. It's the 554. I love this brush. I just bought it not too long ago, and now it's the only one I use. I don't like dipping my powder, my sponge in powder. It's hard to get it out, and I don't know. It just deposits too much product. This brush, I like it better. It would be nice if I would move the mirror, but I don't necessarily bake, I just set my face. And I love this powder because it's very lightweight and it doesn't give me an orange. It's not too orange, it's not too yellow. It's just right. So, let's see here. So I just set the high points of my face where I use the concealer. And usually I don't have to use this much powder, but it's really only because I'm pregnant right now that I notice I have so much more oil throughout the course of the day when I'm wearing my makeup, no matter what I use, I feel right now. Aside from this powder actually really helps a lot. Yeah, so that's why I have so much powder on, but I usually don't have to use this much. But anyways, I just set the concealer on my eyes as well, just for a base for my eyeshadow. So this is my new best friend. I moved away from my Too Faced chocolate bar palette, which is shocking for some. But this is the Soft Glam palette, changed my life. I got it in that Christmas set that they released last year. It's like 4 palettes for $90. But I just take I just play around with the most neutral colors. I like this palette for everyday wear, and then of course you can build up the colors to make it more intense, but since this was just supposed to be like an everyday basic, a little bit more than basic glamour, I just use these colors and I dust it on lightly instead of pack the colors on, if that makes any sense. So next I'm taking this Morphe M50 brush. It's a tapered blending brush, and I dip into a darker brown color. I don't remember what color it is. I don't have the palette in front of me. But I labeled it in that picture which colors I used. And I just go in with darken my crease a little bit. I have hooded eyes. I've come to realize that. I don't know if it's just because I'm getting older or what. But I have to work a little bit harder to deepen the corners of my eyes and make a crease. Sorry, I'm trying not to rough right now. So then finally I'm going to take, I think that I remember that color is Orange Soda, and I'm using a flat shader brush. You can use a medium or maybe even a small eyeshadow brush. And I just stamp, I don't swipe, I just stamp the eyeshadow on, the eyebrow highlight shadow. And then using that same blending brush that I used for the other darker color, I just mix the two colors together so that it's not too bright and it's not a huge contrast. Whew. Then I'm going to switch it up a little. I'm going to prime my lips with the Prep and Prime for Lips from MAC Cosmetics. And I love it because it softens my lips. I usually have like the Tyrone Bigham's crunchy lips. And then with this eyeliner, this is also new that I just started using, and I love the ease of it. It's only not easy right now because I'm doing it with one hand, looking in a mirror, and I'm used to just standing as close as I need to a mirror, and I have both hands free. So that's why it looks like I'm struggle bussing this eyeliner, but it's usually not that difficult for me. And I find that I have to draw mine on a specific way just so that I can not have half my eyelid disappear and have my shadow still show through. So I'm just taking it and I'm drawing it on, and it takes a little while, and then I kind of mess up once I look up, but whatever. See that? That's a no-go. But this eyeliner doesn't budge at all. And I only did like one coat. I usually do more than one. So, just to make it darker, but whatever. It's no biggie. What I find that helps with doing eyeliner is that I look down and I just stay on top of my eyelashes, and that is what gets me through. So this mascara, Better Than Sex, classic, timeless, my favorite. It's my favorite Too Faced product, and the mascara itself is very creamy. It's conditioning for my eyelashes, and it stays black the entire day. It doesn't flake off or go nuts. Of course, I've tried other ones that I like also, but this is my all-time favorite. Then I'm just going to take that dark brown eyeshadow, and just to give my eyes a little bit of something, I put it underneath my waterline, and then I add mascara on top of my bottom lashes just to make them look bigger and appear brighter. This, I was trying to find the picture for this, but they don't have it on Sephora's website anymore. Of course, that's the Fenty Beauty Mocha Mami bronzing powder. And I double dip, I mix the two together. I just dip my brush. This is the Morphe contour blush brush. I forget what brush number it is, I don't remember. But I just dip the two together, I kind of mix it, and then I tap off the excess, and then this is how I sculpt my face. So I just go in swirling motions. I don't use a lot, I build up very gradually because I don't want to have doo-doo stains on my face, if you know what I mean. Because sometimes darker colors you just have to be careful with. They go quicker, they show up faster, and then they can go from good to really bad very quickly. But this, the Becca bronzer, I bought it at TJ Maxx for like $7, and a good substitute I would say is the Sasha matte blush in, I forget the color, it's like a dark brown, I think it's just dark brown blush color, and that's what I used to use, but I feel like it doesn't stay as long. I like the Becca one better. It's unfortunate I can't find it online. Anyhow, I'm using another one of those brushes from the BH Cosmetics, and I'm just using that to shape my nose. And in all actuality, I use that same contour brush, but I find that this just makes my nose look more chiseled and precise without looking too super fake or without putting too much product. So I think I'm going to start using this brush actually instead of the other one. And to go over my contour, just to keep from having severe brown lines all over my face, I just use the residue from my foundation brush and go over my contour. So for my blush, I'm using this 129 brush from MAC, and I'm using this Anastasia Beverly Hills blush trio in Pink Passion, TJ Maxx, $10. Just because you see the price for $30, I put all the Sephora and the retailer website prices on, but if I can find it cheaper, Marshalls and TJ Maxx. I don't know, lately they've been having some hits. Y'all gotta check it out. I found this. I bought all the Anastasia blushes except for one at TJ Maxx for $10, $10.99 a piece. So, yeah. But this is my all-time favorite pink blush, I guess, or coral pink, whatever. It's also a highlight, and just look at the way that it makes me glow. Like, who can resist? When I wear this, people are like, wow, you look so pretty today. And I'm like, stop. This is my all-time favorite face product in general. This just does the most for me. It gives me, I use this as a highlight instead of a blush. It gives me a very natural looking highlight without looking too sparkly or too heavy, or, just the chunky glitter stuff that I see sometimes. It's just, ooh-cha. Then my favorite lip liner, this is Chestnut from MAC. It's every black girl's best friend. Dark skinned black girl. It's our best friend. And I just go around my lips. Sorry that my mirror is blocking everything. It would make sense for me to move it. I'll keep that in mind next time. And I just line my lips. And when I blot my lips like that, it kind of overlines for me. So I don't have to worry about actually overlining my lips myself. And I just feather inside the corners a little bit of my mouth towards the center of my lip just for a little bit of extra. This Lip Tensity lipstick I couldn't find on the MAC website anymore. I think they stopped making it. I have to look up the color. I'll put it in the description bar. And then on the top lip, I use Bad and Bare from MAC. This is a part of their new nudes collection. And I swipe it on and then I just blot, blot, blot my lips together to mix the colors together. And this creates my favorite nude combination. Finally, I'm using every black girl's best friend from MAC for lip gloss that's Spite. And I just dot it on top. Just give myself some pout. Then I'm taking these lashes from Ardell, and the glue I didn't feel was dry enough. I wouldn't blow on this on lashes or anything if I was working on a client. I only blow on anything that I'm using on myself. Whoa! Take your mind out the gutter. But the thing with false eyelashes, just be careful to take your time. I know it's frustrating and you can't see and you're scared to poke yourself in the eye, but take your time and you won't mess up, I promise. And I keep these eyelashes I used before, and I had it stuck to an Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade jar. Still get out. But yeah, these foam ink lashes are reusable too. So to finish everything off, I set my face with Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. I use this now that I'm pregnant, and I find that it works really nicely. And before I set everything, I just make sure I dust off any excess powder. And then I spray. And then I slay. I don't use the word slay, don't judge me. But that's it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.